Jadi, just to make it up for you guys, kita ngobrol aja sama satu personelnya, yaitu ujung tombaknya My Chemical Romance sendiri, Gerard Way.
Hey there, Pete Douglas still reporting live to you for LA Lights Concert, as LA Lights Concerts and Java Musikindo presents to you My Chemical Romance and the Black Parade, and I'm sitting here with the front man himself, Gerard Way. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I want to get right into asking you a little bit about the history, first of all, of My Chemical Romance. You yourself, I've read somewhere that you yourself were quite affected by the 9/11, September 11, and it somewhat influenced and maybe even gave you this inspiration to start My Chemical Romance. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, it was, well, what it inspired me to do was to do something very meaningful with my life, because the things, what I was doing at the time, I didn't feel that way about it. And it really just kind of forced me to really get off my ass and do something that meant something, so.
And do you find that in My Chemical Romance, and that really brings it out?
Absolutely. I mean, right away it did too. Like from the very first, couple rehearsals, and absolutely in the first show, the first tour, first record, everything about it initially, it automatically made me feel like that.
You yourself, now you've been on tour. It started February 2000, so it's been a year. That's a really long tour.
No, it started like It's I think actually August.
Oh, okay. This is your third leg of the tour?
I don't know.
It's been a long tour. How does it feel to be on tour for so long? Tell me about it. I mean, you've done the same show, but right. I mean, everybody else sees it as, wow, it's my first time seeing it.
That's the way, if you're in the band, you got to keep that in mind. For a lot of people, it's their first time seeing it. So, I mean, we love playing. So
yeah.
But you get tired, you get a little disconnected when you tour that much. That's the hard part, but playing the show is the easy part. It's good.
Okay. And this is your third tour that I know of anyway. You've toured with The Offspring and Fall Out Boy during the Warped Tour. Yeah. And you've also toured with Linkin Park on their Project Revolution tour. But you're touring on your own now, and it's been a long tour so far. So tell me the difference. How does it feel touring on your own once and touring with others?
I mean, they're both good. It's fun to actually support a band. Because especially a tour like Project Revolution or like Warped, where you're just out with a bunch of bands.
Right.
It's a lot of fun, and on Project Revolution especially was fun because you had a set schedule, so you knew every day when you were going to play, and you kind of build your day around that. It was awesome.
And is there a lot of crowd sharing? Do you find that their crowd really?
We took that tour. We took it thinking actually we wouldn't share a lot of the crowd. We actually thought it was going to be a tough fight for us.
Okay.
We really did, and
they really
it was amazing. Yeah, they really did. Linkin Park's fans really took to this band. I was very shocked and pleasantly surprised.
Right.
And Linkin Park was great to hang out with.
That's great. I can imagine.
They're good dudes. I think everybody knows that.
Alright, welcome back. Still with us on LA Lights Concert, My Chemical Romance and the Black Parade. Nah, mungkin udah pada yang nggak tahu nih ya. Welcome to the Black Parade itu udah ada ide untuk bikin hits-hits itu sejak album pertama mereka, Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Nah, setelah kita ngobrol-ngobrol sedikit sama Gerard Way, tambah interesting dan tambah penasaran kenapa mereka tahan segitu lama untuk ngerilis album ini. Nah, mereka mungkin ada ide untuk mematekin konsepnya atau supaya lagu-lagunya lebih jadi. Yang pasti konsep secara keseluruhan mungkin kalau nggak nunggu segini lama nggak jadi sekeren ini. Jadi untuk tahu lebih dalamnya, coba kita ngobrol lagi terusin dengan frontman for My Chemical Romance himself, Gerard Way.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the good and bad stuff as well. You've won numerous awards, especially around 2006 and 7, and some of it was for best band, best album, best track. But in the same polling, you find that there's also a polling for worst band that they include you in. I read that most of them were good, but some of them were bad. How do you manage to get that kind of reaction from people? That some of them love you and some of them hate you, or some of them love to hate you?
I don't know. I don't know how we get it, but I'm like, it's a good thing to kind of have an intense kind of love, and the only way you're going to get that is if there's also an intense kind of hate that comes with that, and that's fine. And at the end of the day, it's not really hate, it's not like that strong.
You don't mind bad press?
Well, I don't think we get bad press, but as far as like polls and stuff, polls really don't mean anything good or bad. Yeah, well, they just don't mean anything. It's just paper. It's just like, it's like winning all kinds of awards that don't even exist. Like, that happens all the time to bands. And, but I mean, the sign that you're getting both negative and positive reactions is great. You don't want to be this mediocre band that's just right up the middle. You know?
And how do you describe yourself? Because the media, the fans, they all describe you in many different ways. And you describe yourself as a rock band.
It's a rock band. I mean, I think we are. And I think a lot of people, especially like people that we met and peers and things like that, like meeting people like Dave Grohl, who really like our band, and just meeting people like that. I mean, their opinion of us is the same pretty much. We're simply a rock band.
Musically, yeah. And I'm going to touch on one subject that I know you find touchy, but there happens to be this huge, there's just a high percentage of, and I know you hate this word, and I'm not going to classify you this way, but a lot of kids out there think emo is the trend right now. Now, I know how you feel about that. And I know you hate it when people classify you as that. But I mean, tell me a little bit about how, I mean, sometimes people just perceive you guys in the wrong way.
I think it's just like misunderstanding. I think everything that happens in My Chemical Romance is completely exclusive from what happens in like emo per se. I think if people would really kind of take a look at it, they'd realize it's two separate things going on. It's always been that way. Like somebody had asked me in Hong Kong, like, why do you feel that like makeup is now part of emo? I'm like, it's not. Like, you know, it's unfortunate, but it's the two have nothing to do with each other. There's just trend, and it's a trendy thing, and people try to sell records. So, I mean, it hasn't impacted the world, you know, in any way, like grunge or punk or anything cool like that. So,
but you agree that your fan base, especially in Indonesia, I've taken a look, and the huge part of your fan base do classify themselves as emo.
Yeah, I just think again, like they're misunderstanding things, and they're probably hearing things secondhand or thirdhand from press, and they're think, oh well, I guess that's what I am, and it's like, no, you're just somebody that likes this band. And
tell me about your style influence. Then you yourselves, I mean, you guys have this a certain sense of style that a lot of people follow, and maybe that's, you know, some of them classify themselves that way because of that as well. But tell me where you get your influences from. I mean,
they get started. You know, I think it really started with like bands like the Misfits or the Damned. I like the Damned because they actually looked, you know, so crazy, and they all looked very different, and they were together. But you know, there was lots of things like Bauhaus and The Cure and things that visually influenced us. But there was a lot of stuff like from film too that inspired us.
Let me fucking hear ya! And if your heart starts moving, I have what you wish. Why don't you just